I need brave and experienced fighters. You can rely on my lads, but you have to pay them. Wow, I don't have that kind of money. I'm sorry, but society has established universal rates to avoid competition between pathfinders of different countries. Okay, I need training. I would get a great mentor from Absalom. From the first times, he'll train your fighters free of charge. Select a character to retain. Oh! Oh, wow! I can respect my companions? Dude, I can respect my companions! I can respect myself! Wow, okay. Good luck. Watch your back. Only trust your close friends. The enemy is cunning and treacherous. Healer, my man. Wow, I can't believe I can respect in this game. Okay, great. Need some water. I've been literally reading English for the past 2 hours, straight, non-stop. Whew, I'm sorry for my bad Inglando chat. It's really not my mother language. If you see I'm flapping, I'm starting to say something bad or jumping things, it's normal, okay? It's quite normal. Okay, let's talk to Irabeth. She's the last person we need to talk here. Any success? How's the city? Main objective? Going to desecrate the Wardstone, blow the whole barrier around the Ward Wound. That would be an even worse disaster than the Ward Wound expansion before the Second Crusade. Not only Canabris, but every city with a Wardstone would be destroyed, including the capital. Can allow that. Okay. So we know that that's our main quest right now. Wardstones, where are they? They are our greatest treasure, the shield given us by Yomide herself, and placing Canabris and other Mendevian cities and fortresses by her herald. The chain of wardstones forms a protective barrier that stops the expansion of the ward wound and keeps the demons from moving beyond its borders. I shudder to think what will happen if that barrier falls. Personal questions. Okay, please. But I must warn you, there are some things I don't have the right to discuss. Wait, what? The right to discuss? Okay, alright. Where are you from? I was born here. I grew up on a farm just outside it. But my way back home lay at the end of a long and winding road. It took me years of traveling through foreign lands before I came to be here where I've always belonged. How did you become a paladin? I don't much like to remember it, believe it or not. The story of how I became a paladin is also the story of how I failed to become a knight. My parents were crusaders, made their souls stand together in Yomede's celestial army. When I was born, they retired from the war and started preparing me to continue the legacy, but my father was an orc. You'd be pressed to find a calmer, wiser, and more pious servant of the goddess than he, but still, all his life, he was dogged by sideways looks and whispers. When I grew older and it was time for me to serve, I decided, anywhere but Genabris. That was where my father had served loyally, and his only reward had been injustice. Besides, the witch hunters, led by Honorable Prelate Hurum, stalked the city with a heavy hand. Who knows what they had done to a strange girl with green skin. Instead, I went to... You can laugh as if you want, but I was young and foolish. I chose Lastwall of all places. You can imagine how well I was accepted in a country that's been battling the orcs of Belzen since its foundation. Wow. So she wanted to become a knight and she chose the one city that was fighting orcs. Great. There were many like me, but we were all treated as second-class citizens. To the locals, my green skin was worse than Leppenskerp's. Even my brothers in faith kept their distance. I took my vows, and the goddess granted me powers of a paladin, but even then, not a single order would accept me into their ranks. I spent another 6 months knocking on doors before I realized a simple truth. I serve Yomade, not these people. Don't have to prostrate myself before them, so I left as a paladin, but not a knight. I'm sure you can imagine what it's like. In most places, tieflings are despised even more than half orcs. Yes. My character is a tiefling, just so you guys know. So yeah, this game has so many words. I know, and I don't know half of them. Yeah. How did you come to join Knightly Order? I left last fall and went traveling. The goddess guided me, and my path led me to where atrocities were happening. I often fought in exchange for gold, but never for unworthy aims, of course. I wandered the river kingdoms for a few years, killing monsters and tracking down criminals. Sometimes I thought I was just wasting time, that my true place was in Canabris, but I pushed those thoughts away. I didn't even want to think about going back. But in the end, divine providence has brought me to my senses. It happened in Tiamon. I was tracking a gang of bandits, which my employer suspected was a cover for Rasmuran spies. We know about the story because we heard about Navia. So she saved Navia. That's another story, yes. After I caught out the cultists, I examined the papers and couldn't believe my eyes. A network of evil cults had spread through all of Aviston, including Mendev. Worst, the documents clearly showed that their allies, the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth, had infested my native Canabris and were even amongst the hanks of the paladins. After that, delaying my homecoming would be tantamount to desertion. Luckily, I was no longer alone, and Avia wasn't eager to destroy the cultists as I was. Oh. And even and I hurried back to Canabris. We couldn't trust anyone. The papers indicated that the cultists had infiltrated everything. Luckily, I had some experience in investigation, and my beloved, she knew her way around working locks, tailing people, and trading information with the city's bottom feeders. Soon, we defeated, alas, not the whole Hydra, but a few of its heads. Do you know who turned out to be the leader of the cultists? The commander of the Eagle Watch. Wow. They're not the greatest at using detect evil, are they? Well, it is the type of spell that not many people will cast all the time. Can you imagine? While Prelate Huron was chasing witches through the city, the enemy had infiltrated the very order responsible for internal security. The scandal reached the ears of the Queen. At first, she planned to disband the order in disgrace, but then she offered its command to me and put its salvation in my hands. Of course, there was one small catch. I wasn't a knight, but I was made commander just the same, skipping the usual progression through the ranks. I got a religion check that I passed and say, I can't imagine the followers of Zonkuthon in alliance with demon worshippers. Shouldn't they hate each other? They should. One experience. But Baphomet's minions are masters of deception. They manipulate Zonkuthon's butchers as eagerly as Iomede's knights. The cultists from that unholy temple didn't know the true face of their associates in Canabris. We ourselves learned the truth much later after getting to the bottom of their nest. How did the people feel about your background? They tolerated it surprisingly well. I shouldn't have been so wary. Crusaders don't tend to be prejudiced as a rule. After all, heroes from all over the world, even from other continents, come here to fight the demons. Apparently, the people were only suspicious of full-blooded orcs. There were already many like me here, and we don't have any problems. Though the locals do have their superstitions. Mandav is as merciless as Lastwall. They just have a different set of victims. I kept seeing those same sideways looks and scowls, hearing the familiar whispers. But where once they used to whisper behind my back and point at me, now they whisper in my ear and point at someone else. It's so strange to be on the other side of the humiliation, to wipe the spit from your face and suddenly to be invited to change position and spit at someone else. You must have figured out by now that what I'm talking about tieflings, which is me. It's true there are many of them amongst the cultists, and few amongst our crusaders, and our fighters do all they can to drive away those who would be our allies. People shun them, call them heirloom spawn, or worse, as if they chose to be born like that. Well, I chose to be born like that. I believe it's quite a feat to rise against the call of one's blood and join the forces of good. Still, Most only see them as the enemy. I once saw a knight bleeding to death because he wouldn't let a tiefling priest touch his wound. Alas, I haven't been able to change this in all of my time in Canabris. A paladin in a city full of possible demons as spy would. Perhaps you will? I hope your example will show others of your kind that they are needed here. Perhaps looking at you, even some of the cultists will see that birth does not consign you to a life in service of evil. About that. About being evil and all. Funny thing. Tell me about Navia. We know about this already. The day the queen knighted me was the second happiest day of my life. First was the day of our wedding. Oh, but Anavia isn't just my beloved, she's my staunchest ally. We share every victory and defeat. The best of me is alive thanks to her. Thank you for saving her back then, the day Canabris fell. Before her return, the only thing giving me the strength to protect the defender's heart was the hope that I'd see her again. We're in your debt. Okay, so that worries me. That worries me a lot. That worries me by a lot, chat. Because we saved her wife, and now she's like, oh, I don't know what would happen to me if something happened to her. She's the reason why I live and breathe and all that, blah, 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 blah. Thank you for saving her, and they keep punching this into my face, and I'm like, oh no, something's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to choose between saving one or the other at some point. Please don't do that to me, gang. Please don't do that. Please don't. Thank you for your answers. Tell me about the Eagle Watch. It was a small order created to fight not only demons but also the enemy within, to maintain the purity of the paladin ranks, prevent heresy, and identify spies. And it failed miserably at that. The Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth infiltrated and formed their nest within its ranks. After the Queen entrusted me with leading the order, Anavia and I practically built it from scratch. We got rid of that weight, people who weren't committed. We organized ways to transmit messages and orders safely. We introduced reliable ciphers. We found tacit allies around the city, from crusader orders to street beggars. This is my personal crusade, to purge the city of the Templars who had infested it. And I thought I was winning. I could feel it. We were so close to driving the cultists out of Canabris, but it's hard to admit, but those successes didn't count for much once the demons entered the city. I'm not gonna say that because I like intrigue and spying. Won't say this because they did have success. On the contrary, if it wasn't for you, there wouldn't be a headquarters at the Defender's Heart. The cultists would have served up the city in a platter to demons. Yes, that's true. It's a good thing we achieved something. Thank you. Okay, I have to go. Alright. We did it. We talked to everyone. We have talked to absolutely everyone. Now I need to go to the basement. And then I need to level. Uh-oh, what's in here? More people to talk? Oh, great. Excuse me, guys, I'm gonna be looting everything. Yes, thank you. Much appreciated. Thanks for... Uh-oh. Surrender thy soul, Delvin. Yomade, protect us. Ha ha ha, got you again. How many times is that today? Take your jokes and shove him, thiefling. Whoa, he's there, chief. Don't hit me. Wolf? Oh, he's the other rogue. I think he's a main character. I'm just looting here. Don't mind me. I just
What's in wait for me there, I wonder.
Grabbing some stuff. Excuse me. Yes. Thank you. I can release him. And I can go outside through here. That's interesting. I want to release him. I wonder if they're gonna be mad at me. Delvin, go ahead. Don't take too long. Can I talk to him?
Hey, Chief! Ooh, hey, gorgeous. Come over here. I want to talk to you about something. Something really important.
So, let's see.
Quit bothering the decent people in here, Woljif, or I'll knock your teeth out.
What's it to you, Delvin Dum-Dum? You were told to guard me, and I'm not stopping you. But no one told me I had to shut my trap.
Who are you?
Woljif. Woljif Jefto. I deal in useful things. I can get you whatever you want. Anything. But there's just one problem.
He's a tiefling, he's a rogue. I guess I'm in love. What do you want from me?
I'll lay it out for you. Simple job, 30 minutes tops. We go someplace, talk to someone, and in return, whatever you want, I'll get it for you. Some extra rations? No problem. Armor, weapons, scrolls, you name it. It's as good as yours. If you need my help with something, whistle and I'll be there. I'm handy enough with knives too, and even my magic know-how isn't too shabby.
What a load of guff. If you were good at magic, you wouldn't be stuck in here now, would you?
Don't you listen to him, Chief. He'd find fault with the Queen herself. I'll be useful to have in battle, and I'll sell whatever you want at a reasonable price. It's your lucky day. You won't meet another gem like me in Canabras.
Oh, I bet. Why are you in chains?
Does it really matter? Don't get hung up on the past, Chief. Don't look to the future. Live in the here and now.
He was caught thieving.
Well, I kind of just stole everything around you. Maybe, yeah. Your shadow, what was that?
Get me out of here and I'll tell you. And don't worry, it's not contagious.
I can help you where you're chained up here. How can I free you?
That's easy. You know Irabeth? Feisty looking gal, always wears armor. You can't miss her. She's the meanest fighter in the whole city. When you see her, put in a good word for me, will ya? Tell her there's this guy Woljif locked up for no good reason in the Defender's Heart. Well, for the follies of his youth. And he really wants to get out on bail so he can keep up his good behavior and make a contribution to society. You got that? Will you do it?
I will.
I knew I could count on you. Knew it the moment I laid eyes on you.
We'll talk later. Eric says you took equipments to aid in the crusade, completely different than stealing. Yeah, sure. I'm not gonna sell them at all. I'm not gonna sell them. Yeah. Me? Selling stuff I just stole? Silly. Just so silly, you know, like I would never do that. I would never. Oh. Money to fund the main weapon against the demons, not for your personal use. Yeah, I'm gonna let him go. There's a tiefling chained up in the Defender's Heart. What can you tell me about him? Woljif is a petty thief from a gang of thieflings. Thieflings. Wow, the jokes. Haha. Yeah. Operating in Canabras. That's what we call them in these parts. They tried to rob a vendor of magical items recently. Unfortunately, we apprehended only one of them and the rest managed to escape. So he's the worst of them all. Great. We have nowhere else to keep him apart from the Defender's Heart, but that's hardly a prison. Woljif knows it too. He's been begging us for days to let him go free or have someone vouch for him. He's already asked you to put a good word from him, hasn't he? If you want to recruit him and put him to good use, go ahead and take him off our guard hands. We can ill afford to let a soldier spend their days watching over a middling thief. I hope the tiefling proves useful, should you decide to take him along. Yes. Yes. Give it. I want him. Yes. I love the puns. Yeah, I thought you would love the puns too. I do. I do believe. Okay.
Well, Chief, what do you got for me?
I talked to Irabeth and I've decided to make you part of my troop. Let's see how it goes.
You must be a smooth talker. Come on, Delvin. Get these bracelets of yours off me. I'm going free.
You're sure to regret this. This tiefling will fleece you for everything you've got. Mark my words.
It's okay. I'm also a rogue.
You're a bitter little man, Delvin.
He would
Petty
never have
and
his back
mean.
up.
You can't even be happy for me, can you? I pity you. I'll leave you alone with your sad little soul. So long. And now, Chief, straight down to business. You see, I'm one of those guys that people around here call thieflings. We just call ourselves the family. After we knocked over that shop and I got stuck here in the Defender's Heart, a little bird told me that Big Sister Karisme wanted to see me. That she had some questions to ask me. You following? Now, she won't be asking me questions like, Woljif, how'd you manage to get out of this one? Or, Woljif, you're so thin, didn't they feed you? No, something serious has gone down, and I just know they want to try to pin something on me. I can feel it in my tail. So, I knew right away that I couldn't go alone. You turned up just in time, Chief. You don't need to do anything when we get there. Just stand behind me and look mean, and I'll handle the rest. Somehow. Let's go. I'll show you the way.
Okay. I'm gonna love him. And I. Okay. Let's go up. Let's level. Wait, I got bracers of armor too? Who is this? Where is it? It's what he is using. Charming. 2 masterwork daggers. Okay, you can have one of these too. Okay, guys, so we're pretty much set. We have 15,000 quests. Like, we got all of this. We got all of this just by talking to people. Don't forget the puzzle in the basement. I thought it was supposed to open his cell door. It's a puzzle. Nice. I completely thought that it was because of, you know.
This way.
Oh, it's for this one. Got it. What did that do?
Wherever my legs carry me.
Is this a false wall? I don't hear any other mechanism. Let's go up.
Forwards. No.
I mean, I should go out here, but... Oh.
Trail me.
The button won't budge. There must be a third one somewhere. So up. Up.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
Maybe upstairs? No, up here. This one is up. Are they changing? the other ones. Do I have clues for this? Don't think I do. Maybe next to them? Don't know if I have actual clues. Did I get anything? This was the only thing I got in this place. Hmm. Did I forget to loot something up there? Okay, let's pay attention to the environment. There should be something here that gives me a clue. Something in the wall, maybe? No. I see they removed something over there.
Wherever my legs carry me.
I'm not gonna lie, you brute force this one. Yeah. I don't like to think that we're supposed to brute force things. Meow. Because it doesn't feel like it's a puzzle if they don't give you any hints. Right? Okay. Doesn't seem to be anything up here. This puzzle is bad at showing the hints to it. Okay, I'm fully in. I see rats on the floor. Okay, there was a sound. Different sound. Specific sound. This one is much less of a sound. The sound to this one is more accurate, like it's sharper. This one isn't. Maybe it's a sequence? Okay. So everything up. This one is down. No? No. I have no idea. Chat, can you help me? I'm what what what? I'm no genius. So the sound to this one is different than the other ones. Yes, there is just 3 levers. I agree with you. Usually the number is always 3.